In this quick video, I'm going to be giving you a high-level overview of LeanLaw. Our mission here at LeanLaw is helping modern law firms be more efficient, collaborative, and profitable through smarter financial operations. At our core, we are a timekeeping, invoicing, and reporting platform with a deep and true integration with QuickBooks Online. In today's demonstration, we're going to be looking at the web-based version of LeanLaw. I say that because we also offer a desktop tracker that's locally installed onto your computer's taskbar, as well as a mobile application to ensure that you never miss out on any time entries that you're trying to capture. Today, I'm going to be focusing on the general workflow of LeanLaw, including time entries, expenses, trust accounting, the billing workflow, and invoicing capabilities. I want to also note that we have full capabilities for firms who may need things like customer advanced reporting, leads billing functionality, compensation tracking, rate groups, fixed fee revenue allocations, and detailed user permission settings. So let's go ahead and jump in here. As you see on my screen, we're currently looking at our calendar tab. There's many ways to do time entries through LeanLaw. If you're more of a calendar-minded person, this would be a great use case where you can come in and say, hey, I know I had a meeting at 10 a.m. today, and you could fill out the time entry card here and go ahead and capture that time. The other way on this screen here is to use the timer functionality. So if you like to use timers, you can stop and start as many timers as you want, and you can quickly hit that save button when you're ready to capture that as a billable entry by filling out that same time entry card here. Now, for more of us list-minded people, we can come over to this time entries tab. And from here, we just simply hit create a new entry. So if I came in here and just selected my client, Cameron Smith, I can do that. Then it's going to load the matters that are associated with Cameron Smith. So we'll go ahead and use that divorce case here. As we scroll down, again, I mentioned leads billing. We have those options for activity and task codes, but if that's not relevant, we're just going to go ahead and go to our description. Here, we can enter custom text of the billable entry that we're entering, or we can use our snippets functionality and say this was a document preparation to save time and get those repeatable time entries into the system. From there, we have it set up as an hourly matter, so it's going to track this as billable time. And from here, we can just put in our time, which we have set to 6-minute increments. So if I put 0.5 and create this entry, we're now going to be able to capture that as a new time entry. With expenses, it's very similar. So now that we've captured the time, we can go into this expenses tab. And from here, I can say create a new expense. Same thing where we can enter our client, Cameron Smith. We can select the matter associated and say it was the divorce case. We can set up expense templates. So for example, I could say it was copies we made at the law firm. I'm the specific user that is capturing that expense. And again, that invoice description is pre-populating for us as well. And then we can enter the amount. So we can say it was $5 of copy fees. We can go ahead and save that. And now all of this information is moving into our billing tab. So when we go into this billing workflow, we can now see under our ready to bill tab, we have our client, Cameron Smith, and we can see the divorce case. We have that half hour of work that we billed. Then we can also see the $5 expense for the copies that we put in there. I can decide on this tab if I want to select in bulk all of the clients and matters that are currently sitting in the ready to bill tab. I can also just select one client or just one matter. Once those are selected, we hit our Create Draft Invoices tab, and from there, it's going to move into our Drafts tab. From here, you have a lot of different options. For example, if the attorney likes to see pre-bills and get those sent to them via email to do any sort of write-ups or things like that on them, we can select in bulk, or again, just a one-off here, and we can say print. And that will give us an example of a pre-bill for them to be able to view. So it'll download that onto the computer, they can write it up, send it back to you. Once you get that, you're going to be able to come in here as the billing admin and say, okay, the attorney said I needed to update the description. No problem. We can come in here and we can quickly make any adjustments to that description. We also can do any sort of write downs that we might need to in here, which can be very helpful. The other thing is if you accidentally associated a time entry to the wrong matter, you can easily select that matter and change that matter to the correct matter. Again, saving time, not having to go back and recreate that entire invoice. And you can always move the stages of these as well. So if you want to put this back into ready to bill instead of draft, we can quickly hit that undo draft button and put it back into ready to bill. From here, once we're ready to go, you can already see some of this integration with QuickBooks is happening. So we can check their trust balance. We can see if they have any open client balances and all of those different things here because of that integration to QuickBooks Online. But once we hit this approve and submit button, what this is going to do is create your invoice on the LeanLaw side, but it's also pushing all of this data over to the QuickBooks side for you. So we would now see an open balance Cameron Smith on the QuickBooks side, just like we do now in our non-paid manage invoices tab. So here we can see that balance of $194, which when we click onto this, we will get a preview of what that invoice looks like. So if I click in here, this is the preview of that invoice. Again, we can show if they have any balance forwards that are due, starting and ending trust balances, the services. So this is that captured billable time that we're invoicing for with that description. And then we also see the expenses associated. When we go back to the LeanLaw side here, we have different options on how we're collecting payments from our clients. So we can email this to the client, and we can choose to decide if we want to show payment links. So we have an e-payments platform in our system. It takes 1% for ACH transfers and 2.95% for credit and debit card transactions. And again, this is a way that you can quickly receive those payments through e-payments through LeanLaw. On average, we're seeing clients using this, collecting at about a 50% higher rate than the clients that are not using the e-payments link. The other way to collect payments here would be by clicking these dots and saying, we're going to go ahead and record a payment because maybe they paid through cash or a check or something that isn't used through the system or wasn't a trust payment. So we're going to actually use the trust functionality since they have a balance of about $9,392. And we're just going to say pay from trust. So once we pay that amount from trust, we're going to see now that this will move from our non-paid to our paid stage here in just a moment. So now when we filter to paid, we will see that this invoice had a billed balance of $194 and their balance due is now $0 and their trust balance is also reflected in that. If we click into the invoice that we can email directly from LeanLaw to our client, we can give them something that would look like this and enable a paid stamp to let them know that we have invoiced this, and we can show them that their starting trust balance was this amount, and after we pulled the money from trust, this was their ending and remaining trust balance they have with you. Going back in here to the LeanLaw side, the other thing I wanted to touch on is just reporting really quickly. So some of our most common reports is going to be the by client and matter and by user report. So the by user WIP billed collected is a really common one that you can check the financial health status of your firm very quickly. So I could say, I want to look at all of this data year to date, and then it's going to break it down by specific users. You can filter all of these tabs up top as well. So if you want to see who has the most work in progress with a specific client, you can do that. And you can actually look at a user and show all of their specific clients as well as matters, and look again here, who has the most work in progress. Or maybe you want to see who's collected the most services for us year to date. And again, this is all done with filters on the left-hand side. So if you wanted to see the entire firm view, you could simply deselect that user and show everybody here. Some other reporting is going to be the productivity report, especially if you're an hourly based firm, where again, you can come in year to date and make sure that the users that are billing time are hitting their billable hours worked required amount. Again, for someone like an associate that needs to be hitting a certain amount of hours over a specific time period, this can be very useful. And again, you can break that down further and look at it by the specific user and decide to show all of their clients and matters as well. The final report we're going to hit on here is going to be this accounting side. So under accounting and receivables, we can open up this report really quickly. And again, this is just showing the matters involving me. If we wanted to show everyone, we can deselect that, and we can see which clients have an outstanding accounts receivable balance and also the aging of it. So Legal Tech LLC, they have an overdue invoice of $1,000 that's over 90 days overdue. With LeanLaw, we make it really simple to be able to click into here and say, send a reminder email, which will then send a reminder email to this client saying, hey, just a reminder, you have an outstanding balance. Please use however you're collecting your payments to go ahead and make that payment of $1,000. So again, LeanLaw, really 100% financially focused for legal law firms. We have a very deep and true integration with the QuickBooks Online side of things. And underneath that reporting, like I mentioned, some other functionality we have are these advanced and custom reports as well. If you want to learn more, I highly recommend visiting us online, looking through our resources tab and some more demo videos there. And if you have any questions, as always, please feel free to reach out to our team. Thank you so much.